Deconstructing your localization go-to-market strategy. Welcome to Localization News You Can Use, your daily dose of localization know-how. Let's tackle the foundational question every localization tech company or LSP grapples with. How do we actually grow? The industry conversation often gets gridlocked in a debate between product-led growth, PLG, and sales-led growth, SLG, treating them like opposing factions. But the truth is, the smartest players in our field are becoming strategically ambidextrous. Very few successful localization platforms are purely one or the other now. Think about it. You have a self-service tier where a small startup can sign up for a CAT tool or a basic TMS, plug in their repository, and start translating within minutes. That's your PLG engine running smoothly. But you also need a white glove service for the large enterprise client who needs custom workflows, dedicated project management, and a full security review. That's your high-touch sales motion. Companies like Phrase and Lokalise are prime examples of this hybrid mastery, recognizing that a freelance translator and a Fortune 500 company have vastly different procurement processes. The genius is in letting them each choose their own path to purchase. Sure, rapid user acquisition often sparks from the PLG side with its low barrier to entry, but the foundational low predictable revenue is built on the enterprise deals secured by a consultative sales team. This choice of strategy dictates your entire marketing playbook. A sales-led motion in the localization world means you're playing the long game. You need a library of insightful content. Think white papers on continuous localization ROI, in-depth webinars on TMS implementation, and case studies of global brands you've helped succeed. You are nurturing global marketing managers and localization managers through a complex, multi-stakeholder buying journey. But if you're leaning on a product-led approach, your marketing becomes a direct onboarding ramp. The goal isn't to explain your translation proxy in a PDF. It's to get a developer to try it for free and see their website magically appear in another language in under an hour. This brings us to the battlefield itself. Are you navigating the calm of a blue ocean or fighting for every inch in a red one? If you're in a blue ocean, you've likely pioneered a new approach, maybe the first AI-driven linguistic asset management platform. Congratulations, you're an innovator. But now you have to become an evangelist, spending heavily to educate a market that doesn't even know it needs you. You're sponsoring conferences and running outbound campaigns just to explain the problem you solve. Now, the red ocean. That's where most of the localization industry lives. It's a shark tank filled with LSPs, TMS providers, and tech-enabled agencies, all competing for the same clients. When a new TMS enters the market, it's not just competing with other startups. It's up against established giants like RWS or TransPerfect. In this environment, you compete on existing established demand. People are already on Google searching for best translation management system, and they're meticulously comparing you to 10 others on G2 and Capterra. The only way for a smaller player to win is not to outspend the sharks, but to outthink them. You have to be more nimble, find a niche they're ignoring, or use guerrilla tactics. A brilliant move is to apply blue ocean strategies within a red ocean. Let's say a massive global LSP decides to target your specific country or vertical. They have the brand recognition and a massive sales force, but you have the home field advantage. You can go full blue ocean locally, host workshops on globalizing for your region's specific e-commerce platforms, create content in the local language that truly resonates, and build integrations with local payment gateways or CMS platforms. Deep localization isn't just about translating the UI of your platform. It's about embedding your solution into the local business ecosystem. That's how you build an unbreachable fortress. You become the default choice for your market because you speak the local language, both literally and figuratively. Of course, none of this works if you don't know who you're selling to. Your ideal customer profile, ICP, isn't a static document you create once and forget. It's a living profile that evolves as your product matures. You should be diving into your customer data annually. Who are your most successful customers? What features do they use most? You might find that adding SOC 2 compliance or advanced AI-powered quality estimation a year ago has subtly shifted your customer base from mid-market to enterprise. This regular checkup prevents the all too common disaster where your sales team is chasing huge enterprise accounts that are asking for demos, but your platform isn't quite ready for their security or scalability demands. It's a classic drama. Sales promises a fully automated, AI driven global content machine, but engineering is still patching the core workflow engine. In a PLG world, this is less of a catastrophe because users discover these limitations during a free trial. In a sales led world, it's a costly mistake that can damage your reputation. To execute properly, you need the right tools and a ruthless ability to prioritize. For outbound, teams are using a stack with tools like Woodpecker or LaGrowth Machine to reach localization managers. For inbound, you must be surgical. Don't just throw a huge budget at a G2 sponsorship because you feel you have to be there. Start by grinding out positive reviews organically. Prove you can generate high-quality leads from the platform first. Once you see it's working, then you can invest in the premium profile and use their intent data to supercharge your sales team. This disciplined approach is especially vital for localization companies outside of the major funding hubs who need to make every euro or dollar work harder. Prioritization becomes your secret weapon. Use a simple framework like ICE, Impact, Confidence, Ease, to rank your marketing initiatives. This forces an honest conversation about what will truly drive growth versus what just sounds good. Sometimes, the most strategic decision is saying no. Maybe you consciously decide to ignore content marketing for 6 months because your top competitors have huge teams of writers. Instead, you pour all your resources into building a world-class integration partner program, a channel you can actually dominate. That is strategic discipline. Finally, embrace patience. When you first launch your tool or service, nobody cares. You'll email a well-known industry influencer, and they'll archive it without a thought. But then you meet them at a conference, have a real conversation, follow up with a helpful resource on LinkedIn, and a year later, they mention you in their newsletter. Building a credible brand in the localization space is a marathon of consistency, helpfulness, and resisting the temptation to chase every new, shiny opportunity. Find what works, commit to it, and have the patience to let it grow. And that's a wrap for this edition of Locanucu, localization news you can use. We've journeyed through the critical decisions of building a go-to-market strategy, from blending product and sales-led motions to mastering competitive markets and using the power of localization as a strategy itself. The key takeaways? Know your customer, prioritize with discipline, and play the long game. Until next time, keep connecting the world.